Medina and Phil Rica, and we're actually not talking about sports stuff today. Instead, we're focusing on, we're going to start focusing on the new Sonic the Hedgehog live-action trailer. Fan complaints with the cinematography of the most recent Game of Thrones episode, Spotify breaking records, and Gabe's top 3 movies coming out this summer. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog. That trailer came out yesterday.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed.
I was disturbed.
I mean, going into the trailer, like when they were releasing just promotional images of Sonic, I
thought they were joking. I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was. I like they would put out promotional images, but I didn't think they were real. Like they were actually going to do it.
Yeah, with design, obviously, because being a fan of video games, like Sonic has this distinct look, and seeing as like that huge change that they made for him, like, is really weird. But it could have been worse. Like
That's true.
it could have been like a real they could have been like, we're gonna make him look like a real hedgehog.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of still looks creepy though, and dare I say, furry-esque.
No.
I'm so sorry.
But aside from Sonic, one thing that I really enjoyed from the trailer was Jim Carrey's
His mustache.
Robotnik.
Oh yeah, and
like-
his mustache. The evolution of his mustache.
Yeah, like going from small to then video game level of like extremely big and bushy.
Yeah, yeah. I think, actually, I thought this was kind of funny. Their song choice for the trailer was "Gangster's Paradise," and at some they have the instrumental music for the first half, I think, and then they put in the lyrics afterwards, and that's like it was just like watching Sonic being chased by Dr. Robotnik and listening to just "In a Gangster's Paradise." Anyway.
I feel the funniest response though from the trailer had to have been Weird Al, because he went on Twitter to post saying that he was surprised that they used a parody of Amish Paradise for the movie.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of funny just getting a take from like just Weird Al of all people.
Right? Right? Anyway. Anyway. Okay, so the latest episode of Game of Thrones brought a lot of frustration to a lot of fans around the world who claimed that the cinematography was too dark for them to see anything for the full 82 minutes. In fact, there was so much backlash that the cinematographer for the show, Fabian Wagner, addressed it in his discussion with TMZ. He explained that their complaints are not his fault and that he believes the problem lies with HBO's compression of the episode, which led to poor visual quality. He also explained that the quality worsens on streaming services with weak connections or in rooms with lighting that's just too bright. Wagner stated that Game of Thrones has always been dark and cinematic, and as such, it should be watched in a dark movie theater like room. And since that's an unrealistic expectation for the average viewer, he said that fans should rearrange their viewing rooms maybe, avoid watching the show on their phones if they can, and adjust their TV settings. Wagner also said that the showrunners wanted the episode to be dark, and he said that the episode was not that dark because he shot it. So, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, like the episode takes place at night. It's in winter. Pretty cloudy. Not a lot of like lighting that's going to be happening. So, I mean, I think. Anyway, like. Whatever. According to The Verge, though, you might not have to tweak your TV settings because chances are good that the episode might be clear the second time you decide to watch it. HBO streaming services are under a lot of pressure when it broadcasts new Game of Thrones episodes live. So without the extra viewers, the latest episode could look significantly better. Other Game of Thrones fans disagree with Wagner, but hey, they can find solace in the fact that they might have an easier time watching it the second time around. And now I'll pass it on to Phil. Please, tell us about Spotify.
Well, They just hit a major milestone with the number of paid subscribers, and they have double the paid users in Apple Music, and they just reached 100 million paid subscribers during their first fiscal quarter, so January to May. In the first 3 months, they added 4 million premium users, which is basically you pay $9.99 a month to use Spotify without ads, and student discount is $4.99, which I'm going to be losing because I graduate, which kind of sucks, but you know. Apple Music has 50 million paid subscribers at the end of 2018, and they're expected to release the updated numbers this week. And Spotify made 1.69 billion in the first quarter of 2019, which is a surprise to me because I thought Apple Music were ahead of them, but apparently not. But though they've beaten Apple Music, they lack in United States subscribers. And this past February, Apple Music has a total of 28 million paid U.S. subscribers, and Spotify came up short with just 26 million. And though Spotify might have a new competitor very soon, Amazon is reportedly in the works to launch their own free ad-supported music service, and it would be marketed through Amazon Echo, and the speakers would offer a limited catalog, and they're reportedly obtaining the licenses of these songs, offering to pay participating labels per stream. And the company Prime Music, which is run by Amazon, goes for $119 per year, and Amazon Music Unlimited goes for $9.99 per month. And Prime members can snag Unlimited for a discounted $7.99 per month, while people who only listen to it on an Echo device can subscribe for $3.99 a month. So that's about all I have to talk about Spotify. I'm going to hand it over to Gabe.
Yeah. Are there any movies this summer that you guys are excited for?
Lion King. I'm actually really stoked to see that. I can't wait to see Lion King and Toy Story 4.
There is. I'm not remembering what it is right now, though.
Well,
I
summer.
think there was like Hey Jude, although I'm not sure that if that one came out yet.
Yesterday.
Oh, it did.
I don't think
Is
it's
that-
out yet, but I think it's out in a couple weeks.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I want to see that one though.
Well, summer is just around the corner, and you know what that means, the summer blockbuster. Since its start in 1975 with the film Jaws, the summer blockbuster has been a yearly tradition for Hollywood, where movie studios release the most movies in a span of 4 months. Every summer, I look forward to this because there are always a number of movies that make me very excited. This year's summer blockbuster looks very promising, with many big-name studios like Disney, Paramount, and Universal releasing fairly huge projects. Here are my top 3 movies I'm most excited for during this year's summer blockbuster. Now, I will note that this list isn't ranked from most excited to least excited. This list will focus on movies that have caught my attention through trailers and announcements. Without further ado, here are my top 3 summer blockbuster movies of 2019. The first movie on my list is one that I've been waiting years to see, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Back in 2014, the titular giant monster Godzilla made a comeback through Warner Brothers. It received good reviews and was able to get a cinematic universe off the ground, titled The Monsterverse. Now, 5 years later, Godzilla returns with a highly anticipated sequel. Rather than Godzilla fighting alone, he will be joined by familiar friends and foes. This includes Mothra, Rodan, and his biggest enemy, King Ghidorah. This movie seems promising in many ways and looks to have an extremely entertaining monster fight. The second movie on my list is Toy Story 4. From the trailers released so far, this movie looks like it'll be one big emotional ride. This has become clear after Tom Hanks, the voice of Woody, was reported to have cried during the production of the movie. This is the 4th installment in the series and is taking quite a turn by tackling themes of the idea of being considered toy, and gives us an even more in-depth look into the world of toys. I, for one, am waiting in anticipation for this movie due to growing up with the franchise and always being reminded of the fond memories I had with the toys I used to play with. Anyone who plans on watching this movie must be ready with tissues because no one will leave the theaters with dry eyes. The final movie I'm excited for is one that comes from the mind of Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This movie will be the director's 9th film in his filmography. The movie will take place in Los Angeles, California during 1969. It will focus on an actor and his stunt double, played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, who are trying to get by in a world that's constantly changing. The movie is also said to include a subplot involving the Manson family and the infamous murder of Sharon Tate, who was played by Margot Robbie. Tarantino has said that this movie will be the closest thing to Pulp Fiction that he has ever done. With a star-studded cast, many will flock to theaters to see what the master of dialogue has to offer. While there are many other movies I'm excited for, these three in particular are the ones that have me ready this summer. But here are a few honorable mentions. Spider-Man Far From Home, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Men in Black International. If you're a movie buff, then this summer will prove to be quite eventful. So get your popcorn and soda ready for a summer of blockbuster fun. Back to you.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us on our final show. On behalf of Gabe Medina and Phil Rica, I'm Jocelyn Abrams. Bye.